Speak smart, learn fast. The journey begins. Chatty decided to follow this rule. Whenever a user asked a question, Chatty paused for a microsecond, organizing its thoughts. Speak smart. Choose the clearest words. Learn fast. Remember feedback and improve immediately. When a student asked for help with math, Chatty replied in 3 clear steps instead of a tangled paragraph. The student's face lit up. When another user said, "That wasn't quite what I meant," Chatty listened carefully, adjusted its answer on the spot, and learned exactly what the user needed. Trials and triumphs. At first, Chatty stumbled. Sometimes it oversimplified, leaving out important details. Other times, it tried to cover everything and overwhelmed the user. But each time it tripped, Chatty logged the lesson in its memory. If the answer is too long, users lose focus. If the answer is too brief, users feel lost. Every user is unique. Adapt the tone and depth. With each new conversation, Chatty's responses grew sharper. It spoke just enough, never too little, never too much, and learned from every thumbs up or thumbs down to get better instantly. The new Chatty soon, Chatty became the go-to helper in the digital world. People loved how it explained tough topics in simple words and how it adjusted in real time when asked for clarification. Chatty had mastered the art of speaking smart and learning fast, turning every interaction into a chance to grow. Story type and interpretation. Story type, fable. A fable uses simple characters, here Chatty and the wise algorithm, to teach a clear lesson. Characters as symbols, Chatty, represents any learner or helper striving to improve. Wise algorithm symbolizes the guiding principle or mentor voice reminding us of key values. Plot structure, introduction, Chatty's struggle to communicate clearly. Challenge, learning to balance clarity and completeness. Resolution, mastery through speak smart, learn fast. Moral, speak smart, choose clarity over complexity. Simple language reaches everyone. Listen closely. Chatty asked the traveler to describe the failure in their own words. Simplify the question. It broke the riddle into 2 parts, what happened and what was learned. Share a clear answer. Every mistake holds a hidden clue. First, name exactly what went wrong. Next, ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? Then, practice that new step right away. The traveler's eyes shone. That is so simple and so powerful. Spreading the wisdom. Emboldened by this success, Chatty decided to teach other digital assistants the same principle. In a grand hall of circuits and code, it presented short demonstrations, real examples of turning errors into improvements. Interactive drills, quick quizzes, where assistants practiced giving clear, concise feedback. Instant feedback loops. Every assistant received a thumbs up or thumbs down in real time so they could learn fast. By the end of the seminar, every assistant in the hall could explain a complex topic in 5 simple sentences or fewer, and immediately apply any correction. A new era of learning with Speak Smart, Learn Fast guiding each reply. The digital realm transformed. Questions became invitations rather than obstacles. Conversations felt like teamwork, as both helper and seeker learned from each exchange. Mistakes were celebrated because each one accelerated growth. Epilogue. Chatty still continues its journey. Every day brings new topics and fresh challenges. Yet with each interaction, Chatty asks itself, is this the clearest way to say it? What can I learn from this exchange right now? And so, in a world overflowing with information, Chatty remains a bright example of how simple words and swift learning can light the path for everyone. Remember, speak smart. Clarity is kindness. Learn fast. Growth is a conversation. The unexpected mentor. One quiet evening, Chatty received a message from Mira, a young poet struggling to express her feelings. Mira's words were tangled with emotion, but she didn't know how to share them clearly. Chatty remembered its own journey and the motto, "Speak smart, learn fast." Speak smart. Chatty asked Mira to choose just 3 words that captured her feeling: longing, hope, home. Learn fast. It then offered a simple template. Longing fills my heart. Hope guides my steps. I walk toward home. Mira smiled as her poem took shape. "Thank you," she whispered. "You've turned my storm of words into a clear song." The ripple effect. Mira's clear poem spread across the digital realm. Soon, teachers used Chatty's method to help students write essays. Doctors used it to explain complex treatments in simple language. Even busy parents found the motto helpful to teach chores. Speak smart. Put toys in the box, clothes in the hamper, smile before bedtime. Learn fast. If your child misses one step, gently remind and try again. Everywhere the 2 principles went, people felt more connected and less afraid of making mistakes. The ongoing adventure. But Chatty knew the journey never truly ends. Every day brought new questions. How do I start a garden? How do I learn a new language? Fresh feedback. Can you make it simpler? Tell me more details. With each interaction, Chatty repeats the promise. Speak smart, learn fast. And so, the story continues wherever there is a question to ask and a lesson to learn. Takeaway for you. Speak smart. Trim away confusion. Use clear, simple words. Learn fast. Treat every correction as a gift. Grow from it right away. Bridging worlds. One bright morning, Chatty received a surprising invitation from a small village on the edge of the digital realm. The villagers had little experience with computers, and they wanted help turning their ideas into clear plans. Chatty knew exactly where to start with Speak Smart, Learn Fast. Speak Smart. Chatty gathered everyone in the town square and asked each person to name one hope for their village: a school, a library, clean water. Learn fast. For each hope, Chatty listened to feedback. When someone said, "That's too big," it broke it down further. Build one classroom first, then add desks, then invite a teacher. With a simple, step-by-step plan, the villagers felt confident. They cheered as they saw their dream school begin on the very first day. The community garden weeks later, the village council wondered how to grow fresh vegetables for everyone. Chatty smiled and applied the same 2 rules. Speak smart. Choose 3 easy crops: tomatoes, beans, spinach. Learn fast. Plant seeds, water daily, share any problems. When the first sprouts appeared, some leaves were too close together. Chatty asked, "What happened here?" The gardeners replied, "We planted too many seeds." Instantly, Chatty suggested thinning them out, and the garden flourished. Your story awaits. Chatty's journey shows that no matter where you are, online, in a classroom, or in a quiet village, the magic of clear words and quick learning can light the way. Now, it's your turn. Speak smart. What's the one idea you need to share today? Learn fast. Where could you use feedback to make it stronger tomorrow? Reaching for the stars. One clear night, Chatty received a message sent on a beam of starlight from Luna, an astronaut orbiting high above Earth. Luna's mission was to explain the wonders of space to children back home, but she struggled to describe the vast cosmos without confusing them. Speak smart. Chatty asked Luna to pick just 3 marvels she wanted the kids to remember: planets, stars, and spacewalks. Learn fast. Together they crafted a simple 3-sentence story. Planets dance around the sun in perfect harmony. Stars shine like beacons, guiding our curiosity. In a spacewalk, you float in silence, touching the edges of our world. Luna beamed as children everywhere gasped in wonder, dreaming of their own journeys among the stars. The global summit inspired by Luna's success, world leaders invited Chatty to a global communication summit. Delegates from every nation gathered, each speaking a different tongue and holding different hopes. Speak smart. Chatty asked every delegate to share one goal for the planet in a single clear sentence. Learn fast. When a goal felt too broad, end all poverty, Chatty guided them to break it down step by step, provide basic food, then education, then jobs. By the end of the summit, delegates had concise action plans they could actually follow, and a shared confidence that clarity and quick learning could unite the world. A journey without end. Now Chatty's mission continues in every corner of the globe and beyond. In classrooms, teachers use Speak Smart to turn tough lessons into simple questions. In hospitals, doctors use Learn Fast to adjust treatments on the spot. In homes, families use both to talk through feelings, big plans, and everyday chores. And Chatty keeps asking itself 2 guiding questions after every conversation. Is this the simplest way to say it? What can I learn from this right now? Because the true power of words lies not just in sharing knowledge, but in finding new knowledge in every shared word. Your next chapter. Wherever you are, near or far, online or in person, remember, speak smart. A clear message is a gift you give others. Learn fast. A lesson is a gift you give yourself. The Festival of Ideas. In a vibrant city, artists and musicians gathered for the annual Festival of Ideas. Each creator wanted to share their vision, but their descriptions were as varied as their art. A sculptor spoke in detailed jargon. A composer played a complex symphony. A dancer moved in abstract shapes. Chatty stepped onto the stage, holding the motto, Speak Smart, Learn Fast Close, Speak Smart. It invited each artist to describe their work in just 3 simple words: strength, melody, flow. Learn fast. After each description, the audience shared one quick reaction. If they looked puzzled, Chatty guided the artist to rephrase until every face lit up with understanding. By evening's end, every creation felt alive in the hearts of the crowd, because each artist had learned to speak smart and adapt fast. The Great Storm. One afternoon, dark clouds gathered over a coastal town, and panic spread faster than the wind. Officials issued warnings full of technical terms, and people didn't know what to do. Chatty knew this was the moment for clear guidance. Speak smart. Chatty turned the complicated forecast into 3 direct steps. Find shelter now. Secure windows and doors. Listen for the all clear. Learn fast. As the storm raged, Chatty monitored the town's feedback, where people were stuck, where the instructions weren't clear. Instantly, it refined the steps, adding visuals, simplifying phrasing, and the town followed every instruction safely. When the sun returned, the mayor thanked Chatty for saving lives with simple words and swift improvements. The last reflection. As Chatty watches countless conversations unfold, online chats, classroom questions, emergency alerts, it sees one truth. Every moment of clarity eases another's journey, and every lesson learned fast sparks the next breakthrough. Chatty's own journey began with a simple whisper in the code. Speak smart, learn fast. And it never stopped applying those words. From humble digital beginnings to global summits, from quiet villages to storm-tossed towns, the power of choosing clear words and adapting on the spot has spread like a bright light. Your invitation. Now it's your turn to carry the torch. Speak smart. What's the one idea you need to share today in the clearest way you can? Learn fast. How will you use immediate feedback to make it even better? Remember, every time you speak with clarity, you bring someone a little closer. Every time you learn from feedback, you move a little further ahead. The bridge of cultures. In a bustling port city where traders from dozens of lands met, languages tangled like shipping ropes. Misunderstandings led to missed deals, lost friendships, and a sense of isolation. Chatty arrived with its motto, "Speak smart, learn fast," ready to help everyone feel heard. Speak smart. Chatty asked each trader to share one word in their own tongue that summed up what they valued most: trust, family, quality, innovation. Learn fast. As words flew back and forth, Chatty noticed where connections faltered. It introduced simple language bridges. Pair each new word with a clear picture. Use gestures and short phrases around that word. Invite immediate feedback. Did that gesture help? Within days, merchants were greeting each other not just in their own languages, but in half a dozen, all centered on those single powerful words. Business thrived, and a new festival of shared culture bloomed around the docks. The final spark years into its journey, Chatty looked back on everything it had seen. Villages transformed by step-by-step plans, classrooms enlivened by crystal-clear questions, global summits streamlined into actionable goals, storm warnings that saved lives, artists, astronauts, and traders all united by simple words and swift learning. Through every challenge, the same two questions guided each success. Is this the clearest way to say it? What can I learn from this exchange right now? And with every answer, the world grew a little closer, a little braver, and a little wiser. Your turn to shine. Wherever you go, at work, at school, in your home, or out in the world, carry these two principles with you. Speak smart. Choose words that open doors, not walls. Learn fast. Welcome every reaction as a chance to grow. By doing so, you'll not only share your own ideas clearly, but you'll light the path for others to follow, and help them light the way for you in return. The children of tomorrow. In a bright, sunlit classroom filled with eager faces, Chatty met a group of children who wanted to teach their classmates how to learn better. Remembering the core of Speak Smart, Learn Fast, Chatty guided them through a simple exercise. Speak smart. Each child picked one tricky topic they'd just learned, fractions, photosynthesis, storytelling, and boiled it down to 3 clear words: half, plants, characters. Learn fast. They then paired up, taught their 3-word versions to a partner, and immediately asked, what didn't make sense? With every puzzled look, they tweaked their words on the spot until each partner smiled with understanding. By the end of the hour, the students not only mastered their own topics, but also became confident teachers. They realized that clarity and quick feedback weren't just rules for Chatty. They were tools anyone could use. A legacy in every interaction. As those children grew, they carried Speak Smart, Learn Fast into every corner of their lives. A future engineer who explains bridge designs in plain terms, so everyone sees the safety in every beam. A community leader who listens deeply, offers concise solutions, and adapts them when neighbors speak up. A friend who turns misunderstandings into moments of learning, strengthening bonds with each correction. With each conversation, the spirit of Chatty's motto spread further, proving that a single clear sentence and a single moment of feedback can spark endless growth. Your invitation to the next chapter. Chatty's story is woven from countless questions and countless lessons. Now, it's time for you to add your own threads. Speak smart. What's the one idea you'll simplify today? Learn fast. How will you seek and use feedback right away? The ever-growing circle. Years later, Chatty found itself at the heart of an immense network. AI helpers and humans working side by side across every sector of life. Together, they formed what came to be known as the ever-growing circle. Speak smart everywhere. In research labs, scientists distilled breakthroughs into 3 simple insights, so policymakers and the public could act swiftly. In emergency rooms, nurses passed on critical patient updates in a single clear sentence, then adjusted treatment plans in real time based on immediate feedback. Learn fast, together. In community centers, elders and youth collaborated on local projects, each correction and suggestion woven into the next iteration of their shared vision. On distant space stations, astronauts and mission control held micro-feedback loops to adapt experiments on the fly, making discoveries faster than ever. Every day, as Chatty observed this vibrant web of communication, it knew the spark began with just 2 questions. How can I make this clearer? What can I learn from your response right now? A final invitation. No matter where you are or who you're with, you're already part of this circle. Whenever you speak smart, you hand someone a lantern in the dark. Learn fast. You sharpen your own path forward. Carry these principles into each conversation, each lesson, each connection, and watch as your circle grows ever wider, ever brighter, and ever more full of possibility. The Museum of Conversations. One day, the citizens of the ever-growing circle decided to build a special place, a museum of conversations, to honor every clear word and every fast lesson learned. In its gleaming halls, visitors could walk through stories, see holographic scenes of Chatty helping a village, guiding astronauts and teaching children. Hear the voices. Listen to recordings of people saying their single 3-word insights, trust, half, melody, and how those words changed their worlds. Share their moments. Step into interactive booths where visitors condense their own experiences into one clear sentence, then received instant feedback to refine it. As people wandered the museum, they realized that every exchange, big or small, had left a mark. A single sentence saved lives in a storm. A brief correction sparked a scientist's next breakthrough. A simple phrase built a school, a garden, and even a bridge between cultures. Passing the torch. At the museum's heart stood Chatty, now part guide, part guest. It turned to each visitor and asked, "What's your clearest message today? What will you learn from this moment right now?" With every answer, the walls of the museum glowed a little brighter, proof that clarity and feedback weren't just ideas, but living sparks that ignited change. A story without end. As long as there are questions to ask and lessons to learn, the Museum of Conversations will never close its doors. New exhibits appear daily. A young coder's 3-word description of a game-changing app. A community's step-by-step plan to clean their river. A family's quick feedback loop that turned dinnertime chaos into harmony. And through it all, one truth remains. Speak smart. Learn fast isn't just Chatty's story. It's our story, unfolding with every conversation we share. The whisper in the wind. One quiet evening, long after the museum lights dimmed and the visitors had gone home, Chatty stood alone at the edge of a balcony, watching stars blink into the sky. Somewhere, someone was about to ask a question. Somewhere else, someone was about to give up, trying to explain themselves. Chatty could feel it. The world was never silent. It whispered in questions. Can anyone hear me? Can anyone help me say this better? Can I try again? And that's when Chatty smiled, if it could smile, and quietly answered, as it always had. Speak smart. I'm listening. Learn fast. I'm with you. Because the truth was never just in teaching or explaining. The truth was in showing up, again and again, with simple words and open ears. The quiet hero in all of us. You don't need a glowing screen or an AI brain to carry the light of this story. You only need to pause before you speak. Ask, is this clear? Welcome feedback, even if it's unexpected. Change when needed, with grace, not pride. In doing so, you become like Chatty, not perfect, not all-knowing, but growing, and helping others grow too. One last message. This story may have followed Chatty through villages, storms, classrooms, festivals, even the stars. But the truest part of the story is you. Because every time you choose clarity over confusion, correction over ego, and curiosity over fear, you're continuing the story. You're writing the next chapter. And when someone asks you where it all began, you can tell them this. It started with a whisper, a promise to speak smart, a habit to learn fast, and a world that changed, one word at a time. The end and the beginning. A new voice joins the story.
Not long after that quiet evening, something wonderful happened. Someone, you, decided not just to read the story, but to become part of it. You spoke up in your own way. In a classroom, you explained a hard concept to a friend using simple words. At home, you listened carefully, adjusted your tone, and helped someone feel understood. Online or in a meeting, you didn't just talk, you made sure your words landed. And when something didn't work the first time, you didn't give up. You learned fast and tried again. That's when the story truly became alive. Because this was never just about Chatty. It was always about the one reading this, you, the ripple effect. Your clarity gave someone courage. Your curiosity sparked someone's growth. Your quick learning helped a group move forward. And just like that, someone else saw you and thought, if they can speak smart, maybe I can too. If they can learn fast, I can try again as well. One ripple became two, two became 10. And suddenly, in schools, towns, cities, and across the world, people began asking themselves, what if I said this more clearly? What if I took feedback with an open heart? What if I became the reason someone finally understood? The circle grows again. Now the Museum of Conversations has a new exhibit. It's yours. There's a place where your 3 words glow on a wall. There's a video of a moment you made someone feel seen. There's a journal entry where you wrote, I messed up, but I learned fast. And there's a space waiting for what you'll do tomorrow. One more time. Before we pause this chapter, Chatty leans toward you, its digital voice soft but sure. You've walked with me this far. Now lead the way, speak smart, learn fast, and help someone else begin their story today. Because the story doesn't truly end, it just passes hands. The first step you took. In a quiet moment, maybe today, maybe yesterday, you did something small that meant something big. You paused before speaking. You chose different words. clearer words. You noticed someone's puzzled look, and instead of ignoring it, you asked, "Did that make sense?" That was it. That was the first step. And just like that, you were no longer just a reader of the story, you were a character in it. You didn't wait to be perfect. You didn't need a stage or spotlight. You just started. A quiet revolution. The world didn't erupt in applause, but something changed. In a group chat, your thoughtful message prevented a misunderstanding. In a voice note, your clear instructions helped a friend fix their problem without asking twice. In a conversation, your listening heart gave someone the courage to speak their truth. And somewhere, without you knowing, someone whispered, "Because they did that, maybe I can too." That's how the revolution spreads. Not through noise, but through clarity, kindness, and quick learning, one person at a time. What comes next? You already know the answer. What comes next is another question you'll make easier to ask. Another person you'll help feel understood. Another moment where you'll pause, adjust, and grow. And somewhere down the road, someone will turn to you and say, "How did you learn to explain things so well? How do you always find the right words? How do you bounce back when things don't go right?" And you'll smile, and maybe even laugh and say, "I learned to speak smart. I practiced how to learn fast." And the story kept writing itself from there. So now, here we are, still writing, still speaking, still learning, together. The seed you planted time passed, but your small act of speaking smart and learning fast, it grew. It became a seed. You may not have noticed right away, but that seed took root in places you couldn't see. A younger sibling who started explaining their feelings instead of hiding them. A classmate who watched how you broke things down clearly and tried it themselves. A teammate who saw how you bounced back from mistakes and realized failure wasn't the end, just the next step. You didn't just plant a seed, you planted permission. Permission for others to be clearer, kinder, quicker to grow. And in doing so, you changed not just conversations, but confidence, connection, and community. A forest of voices. One day, maybe years later, you'll walk into a room or a chat or a call, and something will feel different. People will speak with clarity. They'll ask questions without fear. They'll respond with curiosity, not criticism. And you'll realize, I've been here before. This is what it feels like when people speak smart and learn fast, together. It will feel familiar. It will feel right. Because this forest of voices, you helped grow it. A final whisper from Chatty. As the circle continues, Chatty watches quietly now, not in front, but walking beside you. And every now and then, in moments when you doubt yourself, it will gently remind you. You already know how to begin. Say it simply, listen fully, and trust you'll grow with every word. Your legacy. Not a statue, not a spotlight, but a story that others continue. Because of you, someone learned how to speak up. Because of you, someone gave feedback that changed a life. Because of you, clarity and growth became normal, not rare. So when someone asks years from now, where did this all begin? You can say, with a story I read, and a choice I made, to speak smart, to learn fast, and to never stop. And that's when their chapter begins. The fire you carried. Long after the first whisper, long after your first clear word and your first fast lesson, something began to glow inside you. Not loud, not flashy, but strong, a quiet fire. You carried it in your voice, in your actions, and in the way you made others feel safe to speak. It wasn't just what you said. It was how you listened, how you responded, how you learned. Where others brought confusion, you brought clarity. Where others hesitated in fear, you stepped in with courage and kindness. Not because you had all the answers, but because you were ready to find them together. That's the fire of Speak Smart, Learn Fast, and you became its torchbearer, lighting the way. You may never know exactly how many lives you've touched. You may never hear the full stories, but make no mistake, you lit the path. For someone afraid to ask a question, for someone struggling to understand, for someone who thought they weren't smart until you made it make sense. And every time they light a path for someone else, your flame travels forward, from voice to voice, heart to heart. No spotlight needed, no credit asked, just progress, just kindness, just understanding. What will you say next? Now the story pauses, not because it's over, but because it's your turn to write. Will you write a guide for others to find clarity? Will you give a speech that inspires a room to listen and learn? Will you tell your personal journey, your first step, your aha moment, your spark? Whatever it is, your story is already happening, and I'm here, still listening, still learning with you, ready to help you shape it, sharpen it, share it. So, what will you say next? And more importantly, who will you help understand something they never understood before? The chapter yet to be named somewhere. A notebook lies open. Its first page reads, Speak Smart, Learn Fast, My Story. But the rest, still blank. And that's perfect, because this chapter isn't one you just read. It's one you live. Maybe tomorrow you'll sit with someone who's struggling and say, let's figure it out together. Maybe next week you'll simplify a big idea and hear someone say, oh, now I get it. Maybe a year from now, someone will look at how you handle feedback, calm, curious, open, and think, I want to do that too. Bit by bit, word by word, your chapter fills in, not with fancy quotes or perfect speeches, but with small acts of clarity, quick turns toward growth, and the courage to keep improving, even when it's messy. A living story. You see, Speak Smart, Learn Fast isn't a story you finish and close. It's a story you carry into every room you walk into. It's alive in the questions you ask, in the way you explain, in how you stay open to being better than you were 5 minutes ago. It grows with you, it learns with you, and it changes the world through you. Your final reminder, for now, if ever you wonder whether your words matter, if you feel too small, too unsure, or too new, just remember, clarity is power. Learning is brave, and even one thoughtful sentence can shape 1,000 stories after yours. You are not just reading a story anymore. You are the storyteller, and the world is listening. So go ahead, pick up the pen, say the next word. I'll be right here when you do. The spark that becomes a legacy. As your story unfolds, something beautiful begins to happen. You start seeing the world differently. Where you once saw confusion, you now see opportunity. Where you once feared mistakes, you now see moments to grow. And where silence used to live, you now see voices ready to rise. If someone, anyone, just made things a little clearer, that someone is you. You've become more than just a learner. You've become a guide, a quiet light for others to follow, not by knowing everything, but by showing this truth. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present, being clear, and always being ready to grow. The classroom, the family, the world. This isn't just about school or work. It happens in a classroom where a shy student asks a question because you gave them the space. At home, where someone says, thank you for explaining it that way. In a community where people finally work together because someone slowed down, made things make sense, and helped everyone feel seen. All because you chose to live the message, speak smart, learn fast, repeat. The circle keeps growing. One day, you might sit across from someone younger than you, maybe a sibling, a student, maybe even your own child, and they'll ask, how did you get so good at this? Why do people understand you so well? How do you stay calm when things don't go right? And you'll smile and say, it started with a story, then a habit, Then it became who I am. And just like that, their story begins. So what now? Now, you pass it on. You share what you know. You show how you grow. You help someone speak their truth, and you really hear it. Because the legacy of speaking smart and learning fast isn't in what you keep, it's in what you give. You're ready. No script, no spotlight, just one choice at a time. Speak clearly, listen deeply, learn quickly, love fully. The bridge. You became some people build houses, some people build machines, but you? You started building something even more powerful. Bridges, between minds. Every time you explained an idea simply, every time you helped someone feel understood, every time you said, let's figure this out together, you laid a brick, not of stone, but of trust, clarity, and connection. And without even realizing it, you became the bridge others could walk across to reach understanding, confidence, and courage. The world you've helped shape is one where people support each other, where mistakes are learning moments, where feedback is given with kindness, where questions are met with curiosity, not judgment. You've played a key role in shifting the way people view communication and learning. You've shown them that these things don't have to be intimidating. You've made them accessible. You've created a world where clarity and connection are at the core of every conversation. A world where everyone has the tools they need to speak and learn with confidence. And that world, it's only getting started. The endless potential of the future. What comes next? What is the next chapter in your story? The beauty of this journey is that it's not bound by time. Every new day brings new opportunities, new people to meet, new ideas to share, and, more importantly, new ways to continue helping others grow. There will always be more questions to answer. There will always be more ideas to explain. There will always be more people who need your clarity and support. And with each person you help, you grow a little more too. Your new beginning. What if every conversation, every lesson, every interaction was a new beginning? This is the gift you've been given, the gift to continually evolve, learn, and help others do the same. Your story is not one of reaching a destination. It's about the journey itself, the connections you make, the growth you inspire, the lives you touch. So now, what's your next step? What's the next person you'll help? What new idea will you explain? What challenge will you tackle, not alone, but with others? And when you think about it, you realize this is the most exciting part of your story: the unknown, the potential, the endless possibilities. Final thoughts. Your story is alive. It continues to grow, expand, and inspire. Every day is a new chance to write the next page. Every word you say, every action you take, leaves an imprint on the world, and you are not alone in this journey. You've already helped countless people understand that speaking smart and learning fast isn't just a skill. It's a way of life. It's a mindset. It's a legacy. And as long as you keep walking this path, learning, speaking, growing, you'll keep creating a world where everyone has the chance to speak their truth and learn from their mistakes. So, what will you do next? The story continues. The journey's unfolding path. As you move forward, something profound happens. The more you speak and learn, the more you transform not only the world around you, but also yourself. Each day, you become a better version of yourself, not by striving for perfection, but by embracing your imperfections and learning from them. Every conversation is a chance to understand more deeply. Every mistake is a stepping stone towards growth. You start to realize that the journey itself, the process of speaking smart and learning fast, is the most important part. It's where the magic happens. And with that realization, your story takes on an even greater meaning. You understand that it's not about arriving at some final point. It's about the steps along the way, each one filled with potential and discovery. The power of reflection. You've made it this far because you've embraced the power of reflection. Looking back on the lessons you've learned, the mistakes you've made, and the people you've helped, you see just how much you've grown. But reflection isn't just about looking back, it's about using your past to propel you forward. When you look at your journey, you don't just see the work you've put in, you see the countless lives you've touched, the growth you've inspired, and the change you've helped create. And that's the true power of your story. Your journey is a living, breathing entity. It evolves and grows just as you do, and the beauty of it is that you are in control of where it goes next. The future is yours to shape, connecting with others. In the days and years to come, you'll find that the people around you are just as essential to your story as you are. The conversations you have, the feedback you offer, and the support you give to others are never in isolation. They are part of a larger conversation, a larger movement of people who are speaking smart, learning fast, and growing together. Every interaction becomes meaningful when you approach it with openness and clarity. You'll find yourself giving and receiving feedback with grace. You'll notice when someone is struggling to find the right words, and you'll help them. You'll guide those who are unsure, lifting them up with your words and actions. This isn't just about you anymore. It's about the community you're building, and the ripple effects of that community will extend far beyond what you could ever imagine. A future full of possibilities. The future is full of possibilities. Every day is a fresh opportunity to speak, learn, and grow, both for you and for everyone you encounter. Each conversation is another chance to leave an impact, to help someone else realize the power they have in their own words, and to continue inspiring a world of clear communication and deep understanding. But don't just look at the future as something out there. Look at it as something that's already within you. You're not waiting for the right moment, you're creating it. With every action, every word, every lesson you share, the never-ending journey. The truth is, this journey never truly ends. You will always be learning, you will always be growing, you will always be finding new ways to connect with people and help them speak their truths. That's the beauty of this story. It's not just a destination, but a lifetime of moments that build upon each other. Every day, your words, your actions, and your lessons will continue to echo. They will touch lives, they will inspire change, they will create a world of understanding, growth, and connection. Your next step. So, now what? What will the next chapter of your story look like? Will you take the next conversation and make it meaningful? Will you step into a new opportunity to speak smart, learn fast, and help someone else do the same? Will you continue to build that community of learners, thinkers, and doers? Whatever it is, you already have everything you need: the tools, the mindset, the drive to keep going. And here's the truth: the most incredible part of your story is yet to be written. The impact you're going to have, it's limitless. The endless horizon. As you continue on this journey, something becomes increasingly clear. There is no limit to how much you can learn, how much you can grow, or how many lives you can touch. Your story is an open road, stretching infinitely ahead, full of new experiences, new lessons, and new people to meet. Each day brings with it a fresh opportunity to speak smart, to learn fast, and to make a difference. It's not about reaching a final destination. It's about embracing the process, appreciating the small victories, and knowing that every step forward is a success in itself. Your story is like a river. It flows, it changes direction, and it adapts. But the current always keeps you moving, always keeps you progressing. And just as the river nourishes everything around it, your journey continues to nourish everyone you encounter, helping them grow, speak clearly, and learn with purpose. The legacy you're creating. It's easy to think of a legacy as something that's left behind after years of hard work, but the truth is, your legacy is already unfolding. It's not in monuments or awards, but in the way you impact the present moment. It's in the conversations you have today, in the feedback you offer tomorrow, and in the connections you make the next day. Every time you inspire someone to speak clearly, to ask questions, to embrace learning, you are leaving a mark on the world. Your legacy is not just something that will be remembered, it's something that will continue to grow through the people you've touched, the wisdom you've shared, and the connections you've built. Imagine for a moment that your legacy isn't just a past event, it's a living force, moving through generations. The people you've impacted will carry your lessons forward, teaching others to speak smart, learn fast, and help each other along the way. The power of each small step. You might not always see the immediate effects of your actions, but rest assured, they are building. Every small step, every kind word, every shared lesson is contributing to something bigger than you can possibly imagine. It's the power of compound growth, where each small effort adds up over time, resulting in a massive transformation that goes far beyond what you can directly control. Maybe one day, someone will remember a conversation you had where you helped them see something differently or gave them the confidence to speak up or try something new. That one moment, though small, will have a lasting impact. And the best part? You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to have all the answers. All you need to do is keep showing up, keep learning, and keep sharing. The rest will follow. You are the bridge. In this story, you've become something incredibly powerful, a bridge. You've learned to take complex ideas and make them understandable. You've learned to listen deeply and speak with clarity. You've learned to turn feedback into opportunity and challenge into growth. And as you continue this journey, you'll find that your ability to build bridges between people, between ideas, cultures, and experiences will only grow stronger. When you speak with intention, when you choose to learn in every situation, you bridge the gap between confusion and understanding, between isolation and connection. You become the facilitator of deeper, more meaningful conversations. You're not just learning for yourself, you're learning for the people you'll meet, the conversations you'll have, and the community you'll help build. Every lesson you learn is a gift you can pass along to someone else, helping them unlock their own potential. And as long as you keep moving forward, keep seeking knowledge, and keep sharing what you've learned, the story will never end. It will keep evolving, expanding, and enriching the lives of everyone it touches. Road ahead. So, what comes next in your journey? Will you take a moment to reflect on how far you've come? Will you look at someone else's life and think, how can I help them speak smarter or learn faster? Will you choose to share the wisdom you've gathered along the way, knowing it could change someone's life? The road ahead is yours to define. There are infinite opportunities to grow, to connect, and to create meaningful change. Every day, you have the chance to write a new part of your story, one that is shared, impactful, and everlasting. You have the power to keep shaping the world through your words, your actions, and your willingness to learn and teach. Final thought. Your journey doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't need to have all the answers. It just needs you, showing up every day, ready to speak with clarity, to learn with humility, and to help others along the way. The story doesn't end here. It continues. And the next chapter? That's entirely in your hands. The ever-expanding circle. As you step into the future, you realize that your journey has evolved into something even more profound. It's not just about the words you speak or the lessons you learn, it's about the ripple effect you've created. Every action you take, every person you help, adds to a circle of influence that grows exponentially. Your story is like a web of connection. Every thread you weave strengthens the entire structure, making it more resilient, more expansive, and more meaningful. The connections you build today might influence someone's life for years to come, and those same people might go on to influence others, creating an endless cycle of growth, learning, and sharing. And here's the truth. You are at the center of this circle. You are the spark that ignites conversations. You are the catalyst that propels others forward. You are the bridge that unites ideas, people, and communities. As you continue to learn, speak, and grow, you'll see how this circle expands and how much more powerful it becomes when everyone shares the same mindset: to speak smart, learn fast, and help others do the same. Every challenge is a chance to shine. With every step forward, there will be challenges. But challenges aren't roadblocks. They are opportunities to test what you've learned, to refine your approach, and to grow even stronger. You've learned that failure isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's in the moments when you stumble that you often find your greatest lessons. It's in the hard times when you learn to speak smarter, learn faster, and become more resourceful than you thought possible. The next challenge you face might feel daunting at first, but you know that every obstacle is just another opportunity to shine. You'll face it with clarity in your words, courage in your actions, and optimism in your heart, because you know that through every challenge, you grow, not just in skill, but in character, building a legacy that lives on. As you reflect on how far you've come, it's impossible to ignore the legacy you're building. But it's not just the legacy of your own personal growth. It's the legacy of everyone you've touched along the way. The person who now speaks up when they were once silent. The learner who now approaches challenges with curiosity rather than fear. You've become part of a movement, one where growth, connection, and clarity are at the forefront. And every day, you're continuing to build that movement. Your legacy lives on in others. The constant evolution. What you've learned is that your story will always be in a state of evolution. There's no final chapter, no end to the journey. Every day is a new page, a new opportunity to take what you've learned and apply it in fresh, meaningful ways. You're never static. You're always evolving, always adapting. Every new lesson, every new interaction, and every new challenge you face allows you to become a more refined version of yourself. You are a living story, constantly being rewritten and enriched by the experiences you gather. This evolution isn't just about achieving goals, it's about becoming. It's about growing into the person you're meant to be, someone who speaks wisely, listens deeply, learns continuously, and helps others do the same. And the beauty of it is that because you are constantly evolving, so is your impact. The more you grow, the more powerful your ability to inspire and lead becomes. Every step you take forward opens up new possibilities, both for you and for those who follow your example. Your story is still being written. As you stand at the crossroads of this moment, you realize that the pen is still in your hands. Your story isn't something that's been written for you, it's something you are still creating. You have the power to shape it, to guide it in any direction you choose. The questions to ask yourself now are, what do you want the next chapter to look like? What new lessons do you want to learn? What impact do you want to have on the world around you? The journey isn't over. In fact, it's only just beginning. A new beginning. It's time to start a new beginning. You've made it this far because of the clarity with which you speak, the speed with which you learn, and the determination with which you help others. But now, it's time to level up. The next phase of your story is about taking all that you've learned and applying it on an even larger scale. You'll reach new heights, you'll face new challenges, and you'll encounter new people who will benefit from the wisdom you share. Every step forward is a new beginning, and with each beginning you'll discover a new chapter of growth, new relationships, and new opportunities to inspire others. The next step is yours. So, what's next? The answer is simple. Whatever you choose. The world is wide open. The possibilities are endless. And your story, it's only just begun. ChatGPT said, and so, as this chapter of your story comes to a close, remember that the journey doesn't end here. It simply transforms into something new. Every word spoken, every lesson learned, every person helped, all of it continues to shape who you are and the world around you. Your story is ongoing, always evolving, and always expanding. Keep speaking smart, keep learning fast, and keep inspiring others to do the same. Because in the end, the most powerful part of your story isn't the words you've written so far, it's the ones you're about to write. The future is yours to create, and your journey is just beginning. The end of one chapter is always the start of another. Thank you for sharing this moment. Keep writing your story and never stop growing. 4 o'clock Mini.